fish/owlet, back with a Doctor Who review, and this week it is A Town Called Mercy by Toby Whitehall, and I'm trying to do my new formula of 5 things I like and 5 things I didn't like, and then one of a bonus discussion, because then it makes 11, which is appropriate for 11, I think. So let's see how this goes. Things I liked. Oh, actually, should we start with the bad first? Because then we can end on the good. Things I disliked. It was quite dialogue heavy, which I'll go into in the liked section as well, because parts of that I really did like, because I thought that the writing in this was actually quite strong, particularly regarding certain themes. But I felt like, as far as it being action-paced, fast-moving episode, like last week, with Dinosaur and Spaceships, it felt a little bit drawn out. So, I mean, after a while I just became like, oh, you're still talking? Okay, let me know when you're done. And so I did find myself checking the time a little bit on that, which was unfortunate. Number 2. I found that whole Amy and Rory complaining at the end about how their friends will notice that they're aging faster was a bit odd, because do they actually age when they're travelling in space? I mean, he can drop them back at any time, so he could put them back there, and I mean, do they continue to age? I could be being really ignorant about this. I'm sure that humans continue to age the same in the TARDIS, but I thought that the TARDIS was kind of like its own little time lock and void, so that you couldn't age in it. But I might have just assumed that, and you know what they say about assuming things, so I won't do that again. Feel free to shed light on this. If you know about the wibbly wobbliness of time inside the TARDIS, please let me know, because I genuinely would like to know facts about things when I question it. It's not just me going, I wonder, let me know, please. Number 3, the voiceover at the beginning from that great-great-granddaughter's whoever character was just very grating, particularly at the ending. It was so lame. But that's okay, because it's allowed to be lame sometimes. But I just thought the beginning bit reminded me quite a bit of the annoying Amy Pond introduction voiceover, which we got for season 6, but I don't think it made it to the UK. It was just the US and Australia who got stuck with it. So that was a bit annoying, but you know, it was only the beginning and the ending, so we could kind of get over it. Number 4 was that there were too many guns. And I don't mean in general, because it was a Western, I understand, but the Doctor holding that gun and, you know, making it ready to fire, he was gonna use it. He had a loaded gun, and he was too gun savvy. I mean, I know he's a man of war, a Gallifreyan of war, a Time Lord of war. So probably not the first or the last time he'll ever hold a weapon, and I know it's not the first time he's ever held a gun, but yes, that was a bit, goodness, is this really happening? Which I suppose was the whole point, because you were supposed to question whether or not he'd been on his own too long and was losing his moral grounding. So in that respect, it was very effective. But overall, as a kids show, which I know has many, many adult themes and a lot of scary stuff, guns, bad. Number 5, Amy being a mother. Jex knew that Amy had been a mother. So she was all like, yeah, it didn't quite work out how I wanted, which was good. We got closure on that, because that had been bothering me since the first episode of Series 7, when she's all like, I can't be a mother. But it still, again, didn't really time with the whole I can't be a mother thing, because she openly admitted that she was a mother. And I know that with the River Song thing, it didn't go how she planned. And that's very, very upsetting. But it still happened, and I still think they could have resolved that better. So hopefully, maybe, further down the track, we'll get some resolution. But I don't know, because don't the Bonds have limited time left? Maybe. I think so. Who knows? Okay. Things I liked. Number 1, Susan the horse quote, where his name was Joshua and it was from the Bible, and then the Doctor said no, his name is Susan and he'd like you to respect his life choices. That's brilliant. The writers have really upped their game in the last 2 episodes. First one was a bit shaky with that Nina comment, but last week with all its gender roles was really great, and this one being very open about like life decisions and the fluidity of gender and names, and how names don't really have a gender. I think that's fantastic. So my invisible hat off to you. I hope this writing trend continues, because to me, Doctor Who's always been about accepting like all sorts of life forms, and that's good to see that that's back, because it was very strong with season 1 with Doc 9, so it's good to have it back. I'm all for it. Yay! Number 2, the build-up of tension with the long drawn-out silences. Like, there wasn't a lot of soundtrack to this, it was literally just like old school western, but without that annoying like doo doo. That was a terrible example of the noise, but you know what I mean, when it's like tumbleweed blows across and it's all, ooh, who's gonna draw their gun? That didn't happen. They just still managed to build the tension with meaningful looks and silences, and that was awesome. I'm all for the use of pauses when appropriate, even though I don't actually know how to practice that in conversation. Seeing the Doctor frazzled and nervous when he was first pushed out of the circle, that's the number 3 thing that I like. So, number 3, seeing the Doctor scared again. I like how there seems to be cracks in his armour, because season 7 he got a bit too, I'm the Doctor and I can do anything. Watch me put stuff on and call it cool, which is cool, but I just like seeing a bit more of him as an all-rounded figure and not just a prop to throw things at. It's good to have him be flawed and afraid and have this humanness about him while still being powerful and imposing. Number 4 was the moral questioning, which is where it tied in with my dislike of the dialogue being too heavy. There was a lot of dialogue, but there was some really interesting discussions about morality and the Doctor having that, and that being his weakness and his burden. And you could tell that Jex and the Doctor were really on the same wavelength, even though he wasn't admitting it out loud, and Jex didn't know of his past. The Doctor definitely carries the weight of all those people on his shoulders as well. And so you could read that on his face, thanks to the amazing acting of Matt Smith. And so I think that that was really strong and really powerful. And it also, you know, made you wonder how different Jex was from the Doctor, and who gives him his, you know, balance and ability to reason, which clearly in this episode showed that it was Amy who did that. And it's why it's so important that he has people with him, even though he knows that their fate by being with them is often going to end badly. So he keeps the companions for selfish reasons, but it also helps the universe in a whole, because he doesn't go around just destroying things on a whim and sort of being blindsided by his guilt and his past and the future and everything. So yes, I liked the dialogue as far as the questioning of morality and the deep and meaningful. It's a very deep episode, and I'm not even saying that in a sarcastic way. It was heavy, very heavy, but I suppose after the whimsy of dinosaurs on a spaceship, it was expected. And then number 5 was that the whole Western theme reminded me of Back to the Future 3. I believe that's the one when they go to the West, which was crazy awesome, because Back to the Future is fantastic. So I am all for them wearing Stensons and having shootouts. I just kept expecting someone to be called Calvin Klein. But that didn't happen. So, oh well. But it was still very cool. I could just picture Marty McFly popping up somewhere, because time travels, they have to meet at some point, right? Get the Doc and the Doc together. That would be fantastic. I'm pretty sure there are t-shirts on the internet that already crossed them over, but give us an episode. Come on. I know you want to. Even if it's just a little vague reference, I think that'd be cool. We start an online petition for that? Maybe. Anyway, that's it. Oh, I have to do my bonus point thing. I left my other sheet of paper over there. So the bonus point thing, I can't remember. I'm just going to ramble about the other thing that I meant to mention. You may have already seen the video that I posted earlier this week. If you haven't, you can go into my videos and see it. It is about a Supernatural album from the TV show Supernatural called The Family Business, and it is written and sung by the talented Caitlin Obum, who is the Boom Sisters here on YouTube, and she writes Doctor Who songs and sings an amazing song about Amy, which is so beautiful. So even if you don't like Supernatural, you should definitely check out her channel, but I'm pretty sure as soon as you do, you will love, love, love her music, and then in which case you should check the information on this video and the other video to find out how to obtain this album, and also see all the goodies that I made as far as graphics were concerned, because I made a whole bunch of shiny stuff, which I'm pretty proud of. So that's why I keep pimping it out there, because Caitlin did an amazing job and it deserves praise and attention. Whoops, I'm breaking Lego pieces. Oh no, this pirate fell. Whoops, I'm knocking over pirates. Better put that back. I'm gonna stop now. Okay, Toodles!